Welcome back to Pixel Junkies. You are listening to the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 17, 18 it is. I'm one of your hosts, Rory DC.
I'm Adam the Porch Knight.
Jordan the Marvel Coco.
I'm Aaron.
And I am Andrew.
The cream cheese.
Nope. Andrew.
In the middle.
Andrew Teflon Blake.
No, Teflon hands.
No, Teflon.
He has
I'm
Teflon hands.
I'm just Teflon.
Have you ever felt his hands?
Because I'm a smooth.
He has the softest hands in humanity.
Why were you feeling his hand?
He keeps grabbing my hands.
No, that is not true.
It grosses me out, so that's why he keeps grabbing
We're
my
having a
hands.
hand showing contest in the car right over, and
I have like
Jordan
man
was
hands.
amazed
now.
at Andrew's hand softness.
I mean, my hands are pretty soft.
I'm not going to touch your hands.
Touch
It's
his
weird.
hands, please.
I'm not going to touch his hands.
Please touch his
I
hands.
don't like touching people's
Touch
hands.
his hands. Just touch his hands.
You're fulfilling Andrew's fantasy. Oh, God.
Anyways,
Censor
Adam
that out.
and Andrew, the Teflon hand brothers.
you might not believe me, but we actually do have quite a lot to get to today.
Teflon hands.
Anyways, one of which, so I was listening to the podcast from last week.
Uh-huh.
You know what I've concluded? I was a little hard on Marvel Comics.
Were you?
Yeah, I was.
I think everybody was a little hard on Marvel Comics.
I wasn't.
I
Don't reject anything.
I'm excited to become a newcomer into Marvel Comics. Yeah.
You're hard on life.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
your
fair
problem
enough.
is.
You're the most negative person.
You're hard
gonna-
on a lot of things.
You're gonna die by jumping off the building, and when you hit the ground, you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, ground's too hard. Fuck this."
I'll
You.
No, I'll be
there's,
on my deathbed. I'll be like, good.
I want to avoid being too critical of things I don't properly understand. So if I try to get into Marvel Comics and I find the same things a problem, alienating, I will talk about that then.
All right.
But I was a little hard on them. Anyways, speaking of... No, okay, it's not related. I actually did finally get Crave TV. If you recall, like about 10, 11 episodes back, we talked a bit about Crave TV.
Exactly 10 or 11 episodes back, Roy. Don't kid yourself.
We
You
do
went
this
back
video
and checked for
because I have
facts.
a terrible memory.
And I talked a little bit about Crave TV and some of the problems I had with it and some of the good things I had with it before getting it. I've now gotten it and can speak a little more completely about it.
Is good?
It is good. That's the sort of primary thing I need to say about it. Its catalog is good. It's a lot of fun. I have a big problem with the setup in that you need to, not only do you need to have a Bell Alliant subscription, but you need to set it up through your Bell Alliant subscription, through your TV service provider. You can't just charge it to your credit card like every other streaming service in the world. You have to charge it to the same bill.
But the point of it is that it's like that whole sister company thing. It's not. It isn't. It's a facade. It is. It's a Bell product.
Yes,
That
that's
it's
true.
just like
It's
ordering
just like
a separate
adding
channel
a
package.
new
Channel package
to
yeah.
your thing.
Definitely true.
Yeah.
But it's annoying nonetheless.
It's an on-demand service. It's just like HBO. It's the same, but
Yeah,
Bell
exactly.
owns it.
So will you be able to get that like separately now?
There's a
Because
shit ton of lemons in here.
nice.
Separately in what way?
Well, I thought they were getting rid of the channel package thing. Like I thought it would like it's not right now, but in a few years you'll be able to like I want this channel, this channel, this channel, and just get those three rather than this channel's in this package, so I get that one.
You're gonna have to wait a long time for that.
No, but that is in play
That
now.
I think that's an idea,
doing
but
it
I
now.
don't think.
No, they are working on it
Are
now.
they?
Yeah, it'll be 2 or 3 years
I don't
before
know
it's in
because
place.
there's basic cable packages and stuff too,
Yeah.
right? So it's like based on.
Like, yeah, I think they'll probably charge you a little bit more for the channel rather than if you got it in bulk.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering if you'll be able to get Crave TV separately than everything
Right,
else
yeah.
then. Because it won't be in a package, you know?
Yeah, exactly. There's a big problem with the basic interface. No, I shouldn't
It
say the
sucks?
basic. The default interface sucks.
It's
Yeah.
hard to get to.
There's no question about it. It's organized by episode, not by show,
Mm-hmm.
and that's very confusing. So when you scroll to a show, it'll be like, let's say Entourage. It'll just be on that file you'll be clicking play on is just Entourage episode 1. If you want all the episodes of Entourage list, you've got to go into another search menu and search for that. And it's a huge pain.
Yeah.
I've just found out, literally today, that you can actually change that interface and to actually organize it by show.
Oh, how do you do that?
Good.
You go into the options. It's right below. It's right below adult content. It's
Oh,
at the
okay.
very bottom of the thing,
Yeah.
and you
Settings.
can change it such that it's actually organized by show. But nonetheless, like, although that's, I guess, good, they give you the option to have a reasonable interface, the default shouldn't be a completely unreasonable interface.
I like flipping through the adult content because they blur out all the nudity and any samples they have or anything.
And the curse words.
But they don't blur out the nudity on all the covers.
Oh.
So a lot of the covers have like just big old hangers there. And it's just
Yeah,
like
it's pretty funny. Yeah,
anybody can go in there. It's like
Right,
a
yeah.
4-year-old can scroll through that content.
I don't think you can. If you got parental locking, it won't even let you go into that option.
If I have a kid, I'm not setting up parental lock. Screw that.
It's already default actually. It's default.
It's a 4 number combination. A kid is gonna guess that.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Anybody who doesn't know, that's what the
It's
default
4
is.
numbers?
Admin code.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
but
there's-
it actually locks you out after.
Although, admittedly,
5
that's
attempts.
10,000 possibilities.
Yeah, but it locks you out after 5 for like 20 minutes.
Oh, well,
So you
didn't-
give up.
Okay, you can't brute force it at the
No,
very least.
no.
So at least it's modestly
Yeah, but that's
secure.
like the one time a kid is gonna try and use your TV service, and they're like, "Oh, there's a password." Okay. Every single time you use it, then you got to put in the friggin' password. Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
It just should just be like,
No, you can actually do it per TV.
why can't Connect integration? I know everyone hates Connect, but Connect integration. Instead of a password, your TV's just like, oh, it's Aaron. Then all
Turn on the filthiest stuff on TV.
Welcome back, Aaron. Here's your resume porno.
Here's your filth.
Yeah.
Here's your tour.
Get rid of passwords.
I swear, Mom, this is a different Aaron.
Yeah, it's this theoretical guy.
Is there adult content on Netflix? I mean, like,
No.
Not
Okay.
particularly. You can watch like Bikini Spring Breakers.
Aaron is
That
no,
Bigfoot
Aaron.
movie or...
Not
Yeah,
Aaron.
about
This
it.
this Aaron over here, my other Aaron.
Jordan knows all
He's
about
the guy to ask about this stuff.
Yeah,
Jordan is.
I know all about everything.
it. Yeah, before they added profiles on Netflix, Jordan was adding quite a roster of movies that were questionable in their intent.
I never actually watched them. I always skim through them to
Yeah,
see what's
sure.
on the go.
Just like, resume movie, there's like 2 minutes left.
you're a person who bought Species
yeah, you watched
just
the
to
whole
watch the one sex scene.
No, I didn't.
No, I'm saying
Oh,
you
you're
would-
making this be an example. I actually
Yeah.
like that movie.
What movie?
Is that the most recent? Like this? Like within the last like 5 or 6 years?
What?
No, Species came out in the 1990s.
Oh no, I don't like that movie.
Speed?
There was another one.
Species.
What was
The
that
whole
one?
purpose of Species is just to have sex scenes. It's about
Oh.
aliens who shapeshift into women and like have sex with men and lay eggs in them.
Sweet.
I think.
On notes that are less weird,
Crave TV.
Crave T- yeah, all in all, it's good. Accepting the interface and the real hassle that it is to set the thing up.
Yeah.
You gotta create an account, and then you gotta call the people and help get them to set it up. It's
What?
just, it's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous because you don't have to do that. Upgrade your cable package and then go to Crave TV. That's all you have
or
to
you
do.
can do that. That's still an equal hassle, I think.
Why? You get 175
Or just rob everything.
or no, you get 80 megabits a second
saying.
download speed for your fiber optic.
Wasn't that upgraded to 120?
Or whatever, yeah, whatever it is, you get the
Which I'm
second
not
level
getting,
up,
Bill.
and you get Crave TV for free. It's,
Yeah, but nonetheless, you have to go
Nightmare.
through the process of upgrading. I'm just saying it's more of a hassle than the comparable streaming services.
it's actually pretty easy. All you have to do is call and be like, "Hey, upgrade my stuff,"
Yeah,
and
but-
they're like,
yeah,
"Okay."
that's exactly what you do. But
yeah,
Calling
that's all
somebody,
Netflix is.
calling
Yeah.
somebody this day and age is like a full day's job.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I'm
but-
not like, oh, I gotta
that's
call
not what
someone
Netflix
today.
is. Netflix is you set up an account, it's done. With
Yeah.
your own credit card, it's super handy.
It's just like going to a website. With Crave, it's like, hello, yes, blah, 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 yeah, I'll hold. Okay, I have Crave now. You know? But it's,
Yeah,
Admittedly,
I
the
mean, it's
catalog
it's
is...
the worst thing known to man.
it is.
That's
it
not
is
what I'm
honestly-
saying. I'm saying that comparable
is.
services offer
am.
more convenience.
True enough.
The
But this what you're dealing with here now is also TV companies are built by people who don't watch TV because they don't have enough time to watch TV. Think about that, and that's the truth. So
Profound.
yeah,
nonetheless,
moving
Crave
on.
has a good catalog. So
Moving on.
Too much
A
crap
game
going
you're
on.
excited about was announced this week.
Was it?
Battlefront.
Ark.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about Ark.
There's a game announced called Ark. I'm excited for it.
What is the
It's a
sub?
Noah
Oh, thanks
simulator.
for all that information.
Shut up,
It
Jordan.
changed my life.
It's called Ark Survival Evolved. It's an open world survival game with dinosaurs and
Yeah,
stuff.
so you start
that's
off on naked on a beach, and you just basically have to survive on this island. You can go from like that to like having a fortress, and you can basically ride every single dinosaur in the game. And the gameplay trailer I saw it was on the PlayStation. PlayStation's YouTube channel had it up, and they're like taken from an in-game engine. I'm like, if this isn't taken from a PC, then I'm a baboon. But there we are, and I am.
Hey, what's with Sony these days saying like, look at this early footage of this game that's not exclusive to our platform. This definitely wasn't from a PC.
But I watched that trailer because it says that was all gameplay footage. It wasn't like in engine.
No.
It was gameplay.
Yep.
And I watched that, and then I went and watched a Let's Play in DayZ this week. That's like, it's an amazing looking game for whatever stage of development it is. It looks pretty finished compared to
Daz?
When is it coming out?
I meant Ark. June, I think, early access.
That's
I think.
because DayZ
This
is
June?
being built on like
Yeah.
a 12-year-old engine.
Well, it's already done.
I think early access June 2nd.
Yeah,
But what does early access mean?
It means
not
they're not
done
done the
yet.
game yet.
yeah.
It's playable,
So it's
but
like
it's
a
not
beta.
done.
It's like a beta.
It's only going to be on PC for early access. PlayStation, Xbox is going to be later.
When does it come out on that? You don't know.
No, it hasn't been announced yet. But the
Based
best
on-
part of the trailer is there's a group of 6 dudes who are riding T-Rexes, and they're fighting against a dragon, like an actual fire-breathing flying
I
dragon.
don't like that.
So is it like
Why?
a traditional MMO
I
then?
don't know. I like dinosaurs.
I don't know.
Or is it just like
It's like DayZ.
invite your buddies and go do things?
No, it's not. I doubt it's invite your buddies. It's like DayZ.
Yeah, but isn't DayZ like that?
I meant
can't-
7 Ways to Die, by the way.
7 days.
7 days. That's what the one I meant.
Yeah,
Compared to
well,
7 Days to Die.
Well, yeah, 7 Days to Die is like a Minecraft zombie game.
Isn't it built on like Unity or something? Or
It
something?
just doesn't look very, but
This
this looks really good.
Yeah, Ark is based on Unreal 4.
It looks like it.
It will have an offline mode, but not a single player mode.
That's cool.
So there's no single player, but you can run around endlessly and chop down trees.
Yeah.
Not shown in the trailer
What's
are
offline
the
if not
10
single
guys that have been playing for years
Yeah.
with all the equipment, and they one
I mean, you
hit
mean
kill
like
you.
tilt key?
If it has
Oh, yeah.
if it has an offline mode, then I'm just gonna play it like I play Minecraft and just be on my own, do my own thing.
Yeah, which is
Then you can't play with your friends.
Yeah, but it's so do
you
they?
don't want like
Can you set up a private server?
You may be able to do
Do they
that.
I'm
specifically-
sure that you're gonna be able to set up a private game, and in which case I don't care.
Do they say offline but no single player?
Right. There's no
So that-
there's no single player mode, but
That to me says you can play by yourself, but you won't be able to do anything because the game requires you to be online to do this to advance. That's what it sounds like to me.
no,
no,
it's
I
like
don't think
it's like Far Cry 4, I would say.
You
well,
can't
it's
sell
not like
anything
Far Cry
because
4,
there's no
but
limit.
it's like
Well, Far Cry 4, you were offline playing.
But Far
Cry 4
wasn't
has
an
a
MMO.
As a single player
yeah.
mode, yeah.
I'm assuming. Well, I don't
Yeah.
think it's an MMO.
But you could
Well, I
play
mean, it
single
is,
player
but-
online.
Yeah, but that was co-op. That wasn't like
yeah.
Yeah,
join,
but-
join,
forget
join a room
Far
where-
Cry. It's not Far Cry. It's like
No, but
DayZ.
you can do single player. That's what I'm saying. Like you can do single player.
In
Yeah,
DayZ,
single
in
player does
DayZ
exist.
you can set up your own server in that though, and just play with people you invite to your server. So I can't imagine that this game is not going to have that.
A lot of them don't, though.
Yeah, but
some MMOs don't.
You can.
I don't know.
No, it won't be like an MMO in that regard. It's you can set up your own server. I'm sure.
Simply because it seems like a smaller studio making the game and probably will have private servers.
That'd be nice, I think.
It is coming out on consoles though, so I don't know. Like I don't know how that's going to work with the server stuff. I don't know if you can host your own game or not on that.
hopefully
'cause,
you'll be able to host your own game. Because that's one of the
You
reasons
can,
why
like there
yeah,
are
but you
console
need-
games in which you can do that.
I mean, you need a system capable of doing some stuff, even if you're hosting a Minecraft server, right?
At the very
With this
least,
stuff, you're hosting something. I don't know if Minecraft is more demanding than something like this or not.
the server's
but,
not too bad. But I mean, there's not much to the game.
you gotta admit,
Yeah,
like,
but you wouldn't be able to run that on a console. Like you
No,
can
maybe-
set up custom games on the Xbox
Maybe they'll
version.
just have like a lock to party.
Can I bring up a point here? Why does it need to have dragons and dinosaurs? Why can't it just have dinosaurs?
dragons are cool.
Yeah, but they don't belong with dinosaurs.
Neither does the dodo bird,
It's not
but it
based
also
on
belongs
fact,
there.
Jordan.
The fact that the human is riding around
maybe
on the
there were dragons and we just haven't found any bones
Why
yet.
is there humans and
Yeah, I don't know.
dinosaurs?
I don't like it. It's gone in the wrong direction.
They should only
Dragons are essentially dinosaurs with wings, right?
No. Breathe fire. No, nothing like dinosaurs.
What?
Yes.
They're essentially dinosaurs with
They're a
wings.
That
lizard-like
fly and
creature.
breathe fire. and
we don't-
talk.
There were
mean,
dinosaurs that flew and dinosaurs
it's
that
not
breathed
inconceivable.
No, they weren't.
Fire. Yes, there were.
There were dinosaurs that had wings, and there were dinosaurs that looked like what?
They could breathe fire. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yes, there were.
Anyways,
Pterodactyls aren't technically dinosaurs.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry,
man.
Mr. Paleontologist over here.
Adam the Dino.
There were
age
flying
40
things
guy.
back then, and there were walking things that looked similar to some dragon designs.
Same thing.
So is it totally inconceivable that there was possibly a dragon thing, a dinosaur with wings?
Absolutely.
Dragons
impossible.
confirmed.
But
Absolutely
it
impossible.
didn't have 6 limbs. It would have been more like the ones from Game of Thrones that had 4 limbs. Because there's no animal with a vertebrae. that
Right,
I'm
has-
sorry, what didn't have 6
A
limbs?
wyvern. It would have been a
dragon.
wyvern, right?
Dragons aren't real.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. If they were real, they would not have had 6 limbs. They would have had 4 limbs, and they would have had wings like a bat.
Like a wyvern.
legs
Would've been a wyvern.
and wings instead of
We're
legs,
not paying
arms, and
attention
wings.
to this conversation.
Anyway,
Arm
can
wings.
we move on?
You missed the whole point of the conversation. If dragons were real, but dragons aren't real. Yeah, we know. Do producer shit.
But our hands, not arms.
Thanks for that. I gotta edit that out.
That's 2.
It's 3 actually.
Is it?
Yep.
It's like 6 since we
No, it's 3. I've been counting
Wait, you've been counting what?
all the swears.
Swears.
Anyway, I got a cool. I keep getting this email.
Can I?
Hold on,
I'm not
I'm
done
not
with
done
Earth.
talking about dragons.
guys.
How to enlarge your manliness?
Yes,
Emails?
I got that email from Ron Jeremy.
A lot of the stuff a lot of the stuff in the game that you can do though looks pretty fun. Like it look like I have the wide selection of weapons and like stuff to build and environments.
I'm excited
places
to spend
explore.
money that I didn't need to on it.
I'm like positive it's going to be very limited in all respects, especially early access.
Oh, I'm not going to get it early access. I'm going to wait for the full game so it doesn't
will if
ruin
it's
my
like $2.
experience.
You will be waiting till like 2019.
Probably.
Early access. For
I'd rather
games
not have it at
is a
all
coffin.
than get the early access and have it the experience be utterly ruined for me.
People will get it on early access for like $15, and then you'll get it in 6 years for $70.
That's what they did for Minecraft though. Like Minecraft was on early access for years.
Yeah, well, it wasn't
Yeah.
early access then, but it was. The beta was available.
The,
Yeah,
the
you- but you had
difference is
to pay.
Minecraft isn't a DayZ clone.
No, true enough.
They actually added a lot of content to Minecraft
Oh, yeah.
for all of those years. Minecraft now is a very different game than when it launched.
Oh, I know
Very
for sure.
different.
Yeah, because I played it originally and it was.
The problem with these
Brag
games,
about
as
it.
cool
It was bad.
as cool as the concept
I was
is,
there from the start.
as cool as the concept is,
As
and-
cool as the concept is.
I'm going to break your glasses.
No,
I will.
it's a
There
really
were
cool.
$4 at Walmart.
they weren't.
It's a really cool world. It looks great. It looks like a game that I will get bored of in an hour.
See, I don't think so because I haven't played any other of that kind of survival game, unless you count Minecraft, which I don't, unless So I don't know. I feel like there's still a lot for me to do because the series, like that genre, hasn't been ruined for me by playing just like pointless derivatives. Like you talked about, one is the one where you just crash land on an island. That's not the Forest, is it? You're just on an island. You're basically cast away the
Forest
game.
is another one of them.
No, but
Strategy.
it's like cast away the game.
Strategy.
Yeah, that looks really boring because you're just stranded on an island.
It's
Whereas
a
in this,
cool, it's a really cool game. It's a cool concept. It's a boring game.
I do agree with you though that I'm glad we're getting something like this at least, but it would have been better as a setting for a single player game.
Like an RPG, give this setting to Bethesda games and make something
Yeah,
amazing.
I think
I want them to give the
Jurassic
setting-
Park from Bethesda Games. Can you imagine?
I think if I want to give this, if I had a lot of money, I would
Is
buy
that
Bethesda,
Goldblum?
get them to cancel Fallout 4
No.
and make this game. Yeah,
No.
definitely.
No,
I'd have for E3 the vault open up
I don't-
and then to come out and be like, Ark Survival Evolved.
I never want another MMO to say Bethesda on it. Ever
absolutely.
Actually, I would be. Oh, and we're announcing a new Fallout game. It's Fallout Online.
You know that
Goodbye.
helicopter I keep talking about renting with the sniper?
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be
What's that?
nothing. Don't worry about it.
Just
It's made for
Anyways,
me!
Don't put flowers where you shoot me.
Yeah.
we're going to have to take a quick break now, but stay tuned, and when we come back, we will be talking about
Kingdom Hearts 3!
No.
Supergirl.
Kingdom Hearts 3!
And we are back on the Pixel Junkies podcast. Now, Jordan, before we move on, tell us about that email you got.
So, I got an email, and I pre-ordered Kingdom Hearts 3 a year ago now, I guess. Yeah. Because Best Buy had a deal where it was like 30% off if you
So you
pre-ordered.
gave Square Enix
Hold
$60.
on a second.
Should've
Hold on a
pre-ordered it
second.
from
Let me
Future
finish
Shop.
what I was saying. Yeah. No, I pre-ordered a game from Best Buy. And if you pre-order 3 games, they give you 30% off the games. So I got I don't remember. Anyways, Kingdom Hearts 3 was one of them. It still hasn't come out. So I was like, this email keeps bugging me. Like, once a month I'll get it and say, like, it's coming out December 31st, 2015. And I'm like,
That means it's not coming out this year.
I know. So I Googled Kingdom Hearts 3 to see what they're up to. And they got some cool stuff happening with that game. Like, I think originally they had it designed for, like PS3 and Xbox 360 and stuff. To work with the new consoles.
Yep.
But I think now they're just kind of scrapping that idea and going straight for the new consoles. So, like, they're using the Unreal Engine.
Unreal 3.
No, actually,
4.
Unreal
4.
4. Is that the new one that they're making?
Well, it's already out.
The new one they've made.
Okay, well...
We did Let's Playing that, didn't we? Or was it the...
Unreal Engine?
No, we did something that never came out.
Oh, yeah. No, it was 3D Mark.
Oh.
That...
Isn't that just a benchmark tool?
Yeah.
And that's why it didn't come out. Right?
It didn't work out.
And I also thought it was really cool because of the Disney characters who are going to be in it. Like, they actually have incorporated, like... I can't remember if
Iron Man?
Up is in it. No, they haven't done that yet.
Wow.
I don't know if this is the last of the
Does
series.
Iron Man kill Mickey Mouse? with
That'd
a
be kind of
lightsaber?
cool, like, to see, like, maybe a Marvel crossover as well, but...
But then who would wield the...
And then
Keyblade
Star
of
Wars
Darkness?
and, like...
They're adding,
They could go way too far with it, but...
They're adding Marvel and Star Wars to Disney Infinity, I think.
They've done that.
Would
Yeah,
a
that's already
lightsaber
done.
cut Captain America's shield?
Oh, guys, don't get into this argument right now. I just want to finish up a point. The characters, like, they got Frozen in it and Tangled. Like, I think it's kind of cool. Like the
Tangles?
Tangled.
Oh, okay.
Does she trip up over her hair? All
I
the
have
time?
no idea.
You
what
make
the
us
premise
sound
of it-
stupid, but we say whatever. Caught myself. We say like what it is properly. We'll be like Tangled, and you'll be like fish stick. Ugh, when it's really your fault. Like clean out your ears.
That's my thing, though, Adam. That's my
It's
humor.
because he
I'm
actually
deaf.
doesn't clean his ears.
By the way, did you
Andrew's the dirtiest ears
did you
on
get
the
your
man.
tooth ripped out today or something?
I had a root canal done this morning. Yeah.
Did it fix
What?
it?
What?
How are you not in, like, the utmost pain?
What are you talking about? It's a root canal.
Oh, there's no route to canal anymore, then.
What? Yeah. The point. Yeah. The point.
What the hell? Literally an hour after I got my root canal done, I went out with you guys and ate a bagel.
That was stupid of you.
Yeah, it was a bit painful, but I still... whatever.
Anyway!
The point is, there's no more pain. I'm not screaming in agony here.
That's
now
nice.
anymore. So
I
that's
don't
good.
care, though. I don't give a crap about your
Oh, okay.
deficiencies. Your human deficiencies.
Yeah, he just numbed it, and that's it.
Okay.
I wasn't put under anything.
That's
Did he give you, like, hardcore medication for it?
Nope.
Oh,
You know what? I
he
actually
gave me
think-
hardcore medication for
I'm
it.
starting to think that dentists make up the things that are wrong with you. Like, you look at your x-ray and you're like, my teeth look pretty good. And they're like, actually, you have 78 cavities. And you have 16 root canals, and you need to get all of your teeth done. It's going to cost you $250,000.
Jordan, can I be honest with you? If I had a dentist who's been to school for 10 years telling me there's something wrong with my tooth, and I show you an x-ray and you're like, nah, there's nothing wrong with that, boy. I'm going to go with the dentist on that one.
But,
Yeah,
like...
Definitely do that, because it costs me more money in the long run.
Did you get Jordan to... I can imagine Jordan with a nice
Were you
stick and a
Jordan's
hammer. He's just
consultant?
like, all right,
No,
we're gonna
I
clean
had
this up.
Jordan's mentality. I went in and
Oh.
it was like, yeah, there's some darker areas there on your molars. You might want to get that looked at. Those are potential cavities.
What do
to
you
be
mean
able
you
to-
might want to get those looked at? You're at the dentist.
Well,
he's looking at
a checkup. Your checkup is not part of your doing the cavities.
Yeah,
bit.
exactly.
He said, these are dark areas you want to get those looked at. Because you probably need to get those done. Like make an appointment to get these cavities filled. Basically, I was like, no, they're not bothering me. Don't worry about it. Whatever. I go back the next time. It's like root canal on this one, borderline root canal on that one, and then 7 cavities everywhere else. Like,
Nice
probably
job
should have just
cleaning
listened
your
to the guy. Hey man, I brush my teeth. Is all
I've
I
had
do.
so much money spent on my teeth at this point that I am fastidious about cleaning.
I'm gonna insure my mouth.
You insure your mouth?
my-
I put a dab of toothpaste on the end of a Q-tip and clean each one individually.
I don't doubt that at all.
Do you have like
I
super
actually
small
don't do that.
toothbrush? This is like. This
And I
one's for
throw it
that
out after
tooth,
one use.
This
Of
one's
course
for
you
that.
My
tooth.
problem was I never used to floss.
Yeah.
I do it now, obviously, but flossing is a big thing.
The reason I had to get a root canal done, it wasn't because I didn't brush my teeth, but my wisdom teeth are turned 90 degrees, so like they're pushed up against the back of my back teeth. And I can't get down in there, so that's why.
This one over here is like shooting off to the side. I got one tooth that's sticking out the side of my face. So that's cool.
Can I tell you about something stupid I saw?
Yeah.
So I saw this video online of this woman, and she had a camera pointed at like a sprinkler, and she was like,
I know
July
this one.
3rd, 2006. I just want to
she
ask the
German or something?
police. I want to ask the government and the FBI or whoever's in charge. What are they putting in the water? What kind of fluorides and chemicals that are causing a rainbow effect in a non-sprinkler?
Yeah.
That was like the early days of YouTube, and I
Yeah.
still hope that video was a joke, but I really doubt
I
it.
doubt it was a joke.
It totally was not a joke.
Based on the Louisiana,
It was back when I used to regularly watch
Kentucky
fails.
accent.
Yeah.
It's back in the fail days. I still watch them occasionally. I'll go on and look at a compilation. So the problem I have with fails, like I like ones that are funny, but occasionally I just see one who like some guy bails on a skateboard and like he breaks his leg. And it's just
Can you
him
move a little
screaming
closer to the mic for me?
It's just him screaming in pain.
He's too close to me now. I don't like it.
Hands
Oh,
touching you.
Teflon hands.
Well, that was a weird moment.
Yeah.
I feel
So
abandoned. I don't know what that means.
I watched Doctor Who Series 8 with it's the first series with Peter Capaldi as a doctor.
How's
Is
he
it the
doing?
old fella?
Yeah,
He looks quite interesting as a character.
yeah, he it's a really good Doctor Who.
He quite is.
That's grand.
He's Scottish,
Is
kind
he?
of.
I
Is he
don't know
friends
if
with
he
Liam?
Is he
Neeson?
kind of Scottish or very Scottish?
He's kind of Scottish. It doesn't come across too strongly for the most part. He's not like. I can't say what I'm gonna say because it has a lot of swear words in it, but he's not. He's not like. He's pretty close to the border with England, Scotland, as opposed to like North kilts and haggis Scottish.
Is he
Yeah.
Cockney?
No, he's not. He's Scottish. Pay attention.
So,
I wasn't listening.
Is he French? No, he's Russian.
Is he Russian?
Is
Is
this,
he Russian through his accent?
How is the show?
Yeah. how's
You're off, right? Like,
Probably
he's
late.
not coming back, right?
it? Yeah.
take another.
This
time.
is my last appearance, just to say it's my last appearance. Thanks, guys. Been great.
It's really good. Like with any season of Doctor Who, you can kind of just jump in and watch without having watched the previous ones.
Yeah, Doctor Who is weird like that because this is like the 30th, 34th season now, isn't it? But for some
Yeah.
reason they call it the 8th.
Yeah.
Like why is that?
Well, because
Because
it's the
it reboot-
rejuvenation, right?
yeah, but
Well, they rebooted kind of in
Yeah,
2005.
rejuvenate is probably not the right. Although,
But don't they reboot it
rejuvenate
every
may be a
season?
particularly appropriate word when it comes to Doctor Who. Actually,
Reincarnation.
so did they change the overall format then? Like what was the
No,
distinction?
it just like they took a
it
break
stopped
for like
for
15
a while.
years.
Yeah, and then
Oh, okay.
and then it came back with
I see.
You don't have to have watched the like old ones to understand the new ones, and even you don't even have to have watched all the new ones to understand
So
the
does
new
the
ones.
continuity bleed into the other one, or is it like each Doctor its own like story?
Each episode is really its own story, and each Doctor usually has his
Yeah,
own
but
story.
presumably each Doctor has continuity with.
Yeah,
all the
but
other
you can
episodes.
go into the last of the David Tennant seasons and know basically what's going on.
Yeah, although
Or
I
the last
recommend
one, that's
starting
it.
with Eccleston.
I mean,
Even
I
if you-
recommend watching them all because they're good.
Yeah, if you watch like no other seasons as preliminary, I think it's important to watch at least the first
So
one
is there
as
no
preliminary.
continuity then? What'd you say?
It's not that there's no continuity; it's that the continuity isn't vital to your understanding of the show.
It's more like Star Trek, where you could watch any
Yes.
episode of Star Trek and have a really
Yeah,
good time and know
that's
basically what's
perfect,
going
yeah.
on. If you know that he's an alien and he travels around the universe and through time, then you basically know.
But
what
there
going
are
into.
there are events in the show that
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you want to get into the lore, there's tons and tons and tons.
Yeah, I'm just
But you don't
wondering if
have
like
to.
one
Characters
Doctor's
come and
story
go.
bleeds into another Doctor's story.
Kind of, but not really.
My issue,
Only in the broadest possible sense.
So are they all the same name, or are they different Doctors?
It's all just the Doctor. That's his, you don't ever learn his name.
That's where my issue is with the show, because in order to know what season
the
you're
name of the
on,
show
you
now.
need to know like the name of the actor who's playing the Doctor. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like, why do you need to know that?
I'm just sort of comparing it to like James Bond, where like, Sean Connery's story doesn't really
it's
feed
actually
into Pierce Brosnan's.
It's kind of like that. So like the David Eccleston stuff, who was the first Doctor in 2005.
Christopher Eccleston.
Christopher Eccleston. His stuff that he did in 2005 is basically self-contained to him. It did spill over into David Tennant a bit, and even less so with Matt Smith, and even less so with Capaldi. But I mean, it still kind of does, but not in any kind of strong way. It's not like season 4 of Angel, where if you're going into Angel and watching season 4, you kind of really need to watch the first few.
Yeah, you're not going to understand a thing if you go into Angel midway.
And Series 8, I recommend watching. They're all on Netflix, so I recommend watching them anyway. But Series 8 is a really good one because it's almost a deconstruction of the genre of the show Doctor Who, because the Doctor is this 1,000-year-old alien Time Lord. He's one of the most intelligent beings in the galaxy. He's seen basically everything throughout all of time. He's basically a god, and he's immortal, so he's basically a god. And this series, really more than any of the other ones, examines how it's kind of like if Superman stopped caring about people. So the Doctor still saves people, but you can tell he's kind of is more going through the motions with them. He's having a hard time trying to care about humans whose lives are really insignificant. I don't know. I just thought it was a really well done show. I would recommend it. It's probably my favorite season since 5, really. I really enjoyed 5 and 6. 7 was awful. It might be my favorite season of Doctor Who I've seen yet. All the episodes are really strong. Most of the episodes are really strong. There are 2 that are pretty weak. Into the Forest of the Night and Caretaker, they were pretty weak, but even they weren't like terrible. They were just weak. It was a good series. Speaking of weak, Supergirl.
Before we talk about that, we want to take a break. And when we come back, we'll talk about the Supergirl
Teasing
trailer.
Supergirl.
Welcome back to the Pixel Junkies podcast. Now, before the break, Adam was going to talk about Supergirl, and
I was just going to open it up to the floor. Before everybody, okay, I don't think it looks good, but before everybody paused on the
Before even you go, I posted something to our official Pixel Junkies chat with us
that nobody reads because
nobody reads.
Everybody jumps on it and there's like 67 messages.
Yeah, I go to work and I come home. There's like 150 messages waiting for me.
You guys gotta stop talking.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. I posted something. I don't know if you saw it. It was the SNL sketch of
Scarlett Johansson,
the Black Widow
movie.
That.
I think I saw that.
It was like
I saw a few seconds of it.
It was very stereotypically offensive to women. It was like she's this
quirky girl in the big city.
Yeah.
Looking for love,
trying to get ahead in life.
And finds love with Ultron.
Yeah.
Works at a crappy job.
Okay.
And
now hang on, you're gonna poop on this. Before you poop on it, let me just say something.
Man, the poop is already everywhere.
Yeah, I know, but before it
the
hits,
poop has been done.
Let
me just say, one, she looks the part of Supergirl, and I love her costume. And the show is bright and colorful, as opposed to every other TV superhero show, barring Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Is this a show?
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's supposed, as far as DC goes, because it's supposed to be.
DC, stop! Gotham is good. Nothing else.
No, that's not true at all.
Nothing.
That's not true at all. DC's animated series are phenomenal.
And I've heard Arrow's pretty good. So was the Flash.
Have you seen?
They're not mass. Okay. The cartoons are directed for children generally.
No.
Yes, come on.
Are they graphic?
Okay.
Do they swear?
Yes.
And they're graphic.
What?
Like you can see a guy's head get exploded.
Well, not kind of, yeah.
Oh, alright.
Not really.
It's in some of them.
Yeah, you can't. No, you can't.
Marvel's killing it.
Under the Red Hood, Joker beats Robin to death with a crowbar.
Yeah,
graphically.
But is that in continuity?
He doesn't
with
beat.
anything else?
It doesn't.
Yes.
No,
No, it's not.
he doesn't beat him to death, and it's graphic, but it doesn't really show anything.
Really? You only like real life because you want stuff to be in perfect continuity with
He
something.
doesn't even like real life.
Culture of realistic simulation.
Aaron actually doesn't like anything.
I like realism.
He doesn't even like himself, and I think that's the biggest.
I like when things that are trying to be realistic are realistic.
Yeah.
And
Gotham's doing a good job at it. I think.
This Adam over here, my other Adam, he disagrees with you.
Why? You don't like Gotham?
I haven't seen it all yet.
Okay.
I've only seen the first 8 episodes.
Yeah, Fish Mooney's made up character. That's fine.
Fish Mooney's not just a made-up character. Fish Mooney is a made-up character which is unbelievably poorly acted.
Yeah. I think they should have got Will Smith.
I think it was
He's already
I think it's a very
character,
poorly
man.
executed character more than anything.
Yeah, okay, that's fine, but I think, Jim Gordon's great.
That's not the real problem I have with the show, by the way. So don't worry about that.
Okay.
Fish Mooney's just a side problem I have with the show.
Back to Supergirl.
Supergirl.
So I just wanted to say I think her costume looks great, and the show looks bright and colorful, which is what I think Superman should be, as opposed to really dark and drab, which is what it is in the movies. Go ahead.
Superman sucks.
Tear it apart. Do it.
But
you know you want to.
Super conformist girl, super cliched girl, super Sex and the City girl.
That is Superman and all the characters involved with Superman. It's like, I'm a man who is made of steel, who attacks people who are attacking the earth. And that is the purpose of That's it. That is it. I fight for good.
If you want to,
and that's the whole. That is Superman. That's all Superman is about. I'm afraid of green stuff. Like that is the premise.
Yeah,
of
if
it.
you want like a real cheesy comic style movie.
But that is what Superman is. Superman
We're not talking
is
about
nothing,
Superman.
But Supergirl is the girl version of Superman.
Cut our mic.
It is the same thing.
Have you seen this trailer? This 9-minute trailer.
No, I
Joe,
absolutely not.
I haven't
Joe
seen it either,
Schuster, when
actually.
did you get here?
It is an amazingly
Schuster.
long trailer.
I'm looking forward to seeing it, though.
The first 2 minutes of that is her working a crappy job and dealing with her horrible boss.
It's
and
the,
getting
it's the,
happy.
the first 2 minutes is the Devil Wear Prada,
Yeah.
or the Devil Wears Prada.
And then it
is
starts
a great
to get,
movie.
it starts to
It's an
like,
excellent movie.
You didn't
starts
like
to
it,
hint
Adam?
at being a
hated it.
superhero thing, and then I'm like, no, I'm not interested in it anymore. This is already terrible.
But it's more, and then it turns into like, I don't even know like how to describe it. It's like if Rory from Gilmore Girls, Rory is a girl in Gilmore Girls.
I know
Alexis
that Rory's
Bledel.
often a girl's name, more often than the guy's name, I
Alexis
think.
Bledel.
Yeah, if Rory from Gilmore Girls suddenly got superpowers, except Gilmore Girls would handle it better because Gilmore Girls is amazing.
When
Seriously,
people meet
I
me,
love it.
they're like, "Oh, Rory, just like from Gilmore Girls."
You should watch. You would like that show because
I bet I would.
You like Grey's Anatomy. And that show's terrible.
See, I
Grey's
don't,
Anatomy's awesome.
No, it's not.
You've never watched it.
I don't
I've
mind the
watched
idea.
every season.
No, you have not.
I have.
Thank you for being a friend.
That's the Golden Girls, not Gilmore
I do that
Girls.
all the time. I'm like,
Nice.
is he talking about B. Arthur or?
I don't mind
Arthur.
if a
Alexis
show was
Bledel.
about like
Be
just
Arthur.
a regular girl, and then later on in the show she develops superpowers. That's kind of cool. But she has superpowers from the beginning and just tries to play it off as a regular person.
But that's what Superman's about. And then therefore, that's what Supergirl's about. They just took the same story and changed the gender of the person.
Can I say
They made it so cliched in the process.
Yeah, I really hate. I was like, it's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's not a man. Oh!
Wait,
And
is
I-
that actually used?
Yeah,
in
they
that?
have that trailer.
Yes.
I'm done.
I wanted to go.
Don't
I
need
want to find.
no more.
I want to find the person who wrote that and just.
That line to begin with. Like, who goes, it's a bird? Who does
That
that?
is utter garbage.
Oh my god, it's a bird!
I forget who did. I think it was Dorkly did it, and there was like, "It's a bird, it's a plane." And Superman's like, "No, it's Superman." And he flies into a plane. He's like, "Didn't you hear us shouting out?"
Where does that come from, though? Like,
It's a bird. It's
It's
a
one of
plane.
those
bird.
he
You
can
better
leap
correct
tall
me.
buildings in a single bound. It's just
I'm-
been around forever.
I'm
By the
pretty-
way,
I'm
hold
pretty-
on. I just want to mention, if you can fly, it's not impressive that you can leap tall buildings in a single bound.
But that came from when he couldn't do that.
I know. I wish he still couldn't fly. That would be a lot nicer. But anyways,
And that it's a bird, it's a plane. I'm pretty sure that came from the 1940s cartoon, which is actually really cool. If you ever go back and look, it had really nice animation.
Yeah.
It did have nice animation. Not as nice as the Hulk animated show, though,
I don't think it. Which from the 90s?
from the 80s.
Wasn't that
Or
Tyler
the
McFarlane?
60s.
I've never seen the 60s one. I've seen the one from
Whatever
the
the
90s.
really old one was, where
Todd McFarlane.
Do you remember back-
very
Losing my
clearly
segue.
mouth cutouts and the mouth would move.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one.
Beautiful.
Have you seen? Remember back in the 90s when there was like 80s and 90s when there was a bunch of Marvel like cartoon TV shows. There was X-Men and Iron Man and Spider-Man and the
Yeah,
Hulk and all that.
I really
they
liked
were
the
good.
Spider-Man. I used to live off that.
Yeah, that
90s
same-
Have you gone
Spider-Man?
back and watched it
Swings the
recently?
screen.
60s
Yeah, they
or
reuse a
90s?
lot of footage.
60s,
Like a
man.
lot. It's shameful.
Really?
It does not hold up at all.
Speaking of the 40s and female heroines, I watched Agent Carter this week.
did you like it?
It's entirety.
That was wrong because Supergirl came out in the 60s.
I liked it for probably the wrong reasons. The core of the show is a bit weak. the plot is a bit
I like
flat for the
setting.
course of the season. I like the setting too. The setting, I think, the setting is what does
Very
it,
Gatsby.
and it feels very comic-like. Like it has no disregard or no regard for sort of realism in the sense it's a bit over the top.
Are there speech bubbles?
But no,
It's not real
but it
comic.
feels
It's a
like
very-
a comic book.
It feels like a very like BBC show.
Have you seen it?
I watched the first couple episodes. I really liked it. Like
It
I
plays
actually-
up. It plays up to its strengths really well. It has like the Vaseline on the lens, sort of like, like a soft look. What's laughing at?
Adam, what's popping?
So, I looked up, because I said Supergirl came out in the 60s. I was like, I better make sure that's right. So, Supergirl first premiered they have two premiere dates. One in August 1958 as Super Dash Girl, and then one again in 1959 as just Supergirl with no dash. Why? Why would you need
Spider-Man was the same.
Yeah, but why would you need to reintroduce the concept of the character?
Because they had
Because
to
she was
rebrand
so
it, I guess.
terrible initially.
I don't know. Let's rebrand it. Get rid of that dash. Anyway, yeah.
Marvel's doing it right. DC's doing it wrong.
I thought it was a good show, but was a bit weak.
Was it as good as Daredevil?
No, it wasn't.
Can we talk about this? By the way,
Yes.
okay. So for those who don't know, you can go on to PixelJunkies.ca and read Aaron's review
I'll link
of
it in the
Daredevil.
cards.
Yeah,
YouTube has cards now. So
yeah. Okay, so Aaron raised a point about it not flowing with the MCU. I agree, only 100%. I think that's an excellent point, and I didn't really think of that at the time. Now, mind you, I would still recommend the show. I still think it's very good despite that as a contained unit, but I agree that does throw it off.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I don't
totally.
think it was intended to, because I don't think it has the Disney brand on it, does it?
It does.
Marvel.
It's in
Yeah,
the.
it's
Yeah, but
it's in the
universe.
MCU.
Yeah, but it's
yeah.
like it's Marvel outside of Disney.
Then
like-
why do they acknowledge?
But it's in the same universe. Yeah, I would
Is
rather
it?
I would rather it just be separate. I wouldn't mind if they made something separate from the MCU.
If all you watched from Marvel was Daredevil, it would be awesome.
Yes.
But if you watch anything else, it throws it off, and that's the
It does
reason
throw it
that-
up. I wouldn't mind if they just didn't have it inside the MCU because the MCU references in it aren't important to it.
Yeah, they're just
yeah.
background noise.
By
They
making
never
it in the
make them.
MCU, they have the same problem, I believe, and I love X-Men First Class. Let's get that out of the way. But by deciding not to make it a reboot, by making it explicitly a prequel, they open themselves up to plot holes.
Yeah.
And I think that's a problem. I think it weakens by being part of the MCU.
Think about it this way: like, read a comic book and think about all the plot holes that are in comic
Yeah,
books.
but we're not comparing it to that. We're comparing it to
Well,
every other part of the MCU. Which
Okay,
so far has
but
been
guess
really
what?
tight.
It's like it's a live action comic book, is what this is.
I would argue with that.
With what?
The MCU universe being a tight.
Yeah, I'm not saying that everything in it is perfect, but at
Yeah.
least everything in the MCU acknowledges everything else. Like, if Daredevil took place in, like, 94 in the MCU, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then you
Yeah.
wouldn't have the Stark Tower, you wouldn't have all the other plot holes, none of the other stories really took place apart from Captain America, but there's nothing to acknowledge there. That would have been fine. But they had to make it after the first Avengers movie, and that just felt weird.
The only thing that you brought up is that I consider very valid is the missing Stark Tower in the background.
Yeah.
But I think it as a story is small enough for me to see, Shield's not gonna.
That's really what the line
It's
is.
a small story.
is
It's
it a
not. It's not a
significant enough-
huge thing like every other.
This is what I'm
MCU
wondering
thing.
because this is really what decides it.
Yeah.
Is Daredevil and his activities and the activities of those surrounding him significant enough to pick up the attention of the rest of the MCU?
I
And if
think-
it is, I do think that's a problem.
At least to acknowledge it, because when he starts developing superpowers, surprise he's a superhero, they look at him like, what are you, some kind of like circus freak or something? We definitely don't live in a world with superheroes. It's like, yeah, you do. Iron Man's over there, Captain America's over there, Thor's over there. Why is this news?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
Oh,
Because
you're a
I
superhero?
think it shocks people anyways, man. Like that idea.
yeah, but
like,
you should still acknowledge, like, you're in a world with superheroes and supervillains.
Yeah, but
there are aliens.
how
in
many
this
people
world.
turn a blind eye to like Spider-Man and like stuff like that? Like when you if you
Everybody,
read-
because he's not in the MCU yet.
Yeah, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. Like think about the Spider-Man TV show or everybody's like, oh my god, I can't believe Morbius is flying around and he's a flying vampire man. Like what is this crazy being that is the worst probably Spider-Man villain I could think of, but like, you know, he's
I
a
understand.
mutant,
You're
like,
saying it's a staple of the genre.
yeah,
that
it's
this
kind of
thing
like
just happened.
everybody's surprised that there's something crazy happening in New
see,
York, even though it happens every day. So, like, I don't think that's something to complain about.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point, actually.
I think it was overacted though. They were like to the point of not being friends with the guy anymore.
Well, I think
not
you're
including-
overanalyzing it there now.
Well,
everything. Well, a lot of that stuff.
we're
in the show
getting
was
into
overacted.
spoiler territory here. But
Spoiler.
Well, I haven't seen it, so don't ruin it.
yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to
I'm
spoil
only
it.
3 or 4 episodes in.
But that schism in the relationship happened because he felt betrayed, not because he had superpowers.
Well, it seemed
Like
like,
in
It didn't.
Kick-Ass.
He didn't find out. Oh, you have superpowers, and I don't feel anything against you because you were lying to me. I feel.
Oh, but he felt like he didn't believe him. Is what he felt like. Like he
didn't get
almost
that
had,
at all.
he had to prove
I
to him.
didn't-
You
yeah,
know,
I
like,
didn't get that
Oh, I don't believe what you're doing, and then he goes on like, well, your heart is beating at this rate, and your I don't know, your shirt is this color, yada yada.
Yeah, he does that at first because if I told you that I can, you know, I have a really acute sense of smell, I can tell what you had for breakfast 3 days before. You would
You
obviously.
wouldn't unfriend me for it. Like, oh, you know, you can tell what
I
I had for
would if
breakfast 3 days ago. You've been lying to me.
Yeah, if you were lying to me for 10+ years.
I don't know, I
yes.
felt it was overacted.
It'd be like if you were lying and you were actually a really nice guy. I mean, we would be angry at you for a little bit.
I thought, with the exception of the MCU thing, which I felt only restricted it, I thought everything else was top level.
Oh, absolutely.
Where's
Yeah.
Luke Cage?
He has his own show.
Does he? Is that happening?
Yeah.
Luke Cage and Jessica Jones.
There's
and
three
Defenders.
new shows gonna come out, right?
I think he would be a great side character. I don't think he deserves his own
They
show.
could introduce him.
Punisher
in-
needs
They
a
are,
show.
though.
Punisher
They're making-
definitely needs a show. Punisher is the
This is what-
coolest
this is-
anti-hero in everything. He's,
Oh, what-
he's bigger than Stone Cold Steve Austin in my opinion.
This is vaguely a spoiler, but what's his face is in Daredevil as well, the sniper. The
Bullseye?
assassin from
Bullseye.
Bullseye's in it,
Yeah.
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 Very,
And,
very briefly.
but he was in.
Really?
He was in the
yeah,
Daredevil movie.
he's the sniper who takes out all the cops.
Oh yeah.
You'll see the card you'll see the symbol from the card if you look closely.
yeah.
Yeah, so he's getting his own show, and the Jessica Jones chick, and then they're making the Defenders, which is all 3 of them. in their
Oh,
own
okay.
show.
Daredevil, Luke Cage, and
Jessica Jones,
they
Who's
got him
Jessica
Iron
Jones?
Fist.
played
Spider-Man,
by
who has nothing
Yeah,
to do.
they
with
are having
Spider-Man.
Iron Fist, yeah.
Don't let that like
Jane from
excite you. She has nothing to do with Spider-Man. Literally. You know why she's called Spider-Woman? Because she
What?
asked Spider-Man, "It's like, hey, you're pretty. Like, I like your name
Jane
and your
from
costume.
Breaking
Can I
Bad.
borrow it?"
Jane from Breaking Bad?
Bread, yeah.
Oh, Kristen Ritter. Kristen
you
Ritter.
go.
Yeah, you're right.
She's
She's in
awesome.
it. Yeah.
She's awesome.
I can't
Honestly,
remember
if
who she is.
I didn't think if she wasn't already cast in the Marvel Universe, I would have cast Chloe Smulders as Jessica Jones.
I know what you mean.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Kobe Smulders is fantastic.
Yeah.
She's really good friends with both in comics, at least, with Captain Marvel and Black Widow, which is nice. They have gelato.
Asa Butterfield got cast as the new Spider-Man.
Officially,
I don't
think-
like him.
I think he did.
I
I should check that before I.
And
has there ever been anything brought up on the show that we've all agreed with?
in the classic tradition of Rory's reactions to casting, I have no reasons why he'll be bad, so I'll wait and see.
Have you liked him in anything?
I don't know. Like
He was quite good in Ender's
they
Game.
haven't
He
found
was
the
in a
right
movie with Harrison
Spider-Man.
Ford's
Yes, they
mole.
did. Andrew
He
Garfield.
was in Ender's Game was Harrison
Yes.
Ford.
No,
only-
Andrew
the
Garfield
only
was
movie
not
was
the
Mole.
right Spider-Man. He was
Garfield? Oh,
Yeah.
Andrew
The cat.
Garfield.
Garfield the cat was
no,
Spider-Man.
They still haven't found him. I don't think.
I-
Spider-Man, you're gonna give me your blood?
I had a friend. I had a friend
hate
who.
okay, okay. Actually, let me
His
rephrase that.
superpowers
Let me
was on
rephrase that. They haven't found the right Peter Parker.
A friend of mine said it best today. I think that now they have a Spider-Man who could plausibly be in high school.
Although Andrew Garfield in the
He
first
was
one looked young.
he was
enough.
close. He was
He was a
close.
lot closer than Tobey
He was
Maguire.
a lot closer than Tobey
He was
Maguire.
like in his
Yeah.
40s.
He'd be like,
But I don't.
like asking Bruce Willis or The Rock. Can you imagine The
Robert De
Rock trying to
Niro.
be Spider-Man?
I'm pretty
That'd be
sure.
awesome.
I'm pretty sure it's a thing. I'm pretty sure it's confirmed.
Yeah. No,
I'd
I'm
love to
almost
see The
sure,
Rock
yeah.
as Spider-Man, just wearing the Spider-Man costume.
So in terms of that reboot,
You should play Bane in the
who
Suicide Squad.
is
There's
That'd be
something
cool.
else I
Yeah.
want to talk about.
who is
Right.
or yeah,
The
who's making the new
superhero
Superman or
power hour.
Spider-Man movie?
Marvel.
It's Marvel, but it's
Do
Disney.
you mean
It's
who
Disney.
or?
Yeah.
It's not Sony anymore, is it?
It is Sony.
Sony's on
But
board.
Sony's doing like a crossover thing, like just to
It's
keep the MCU?
it's being produced by Sony, but it does follow the MCU.
Yeah, it's
canon.
coming into the MCU. It's the first Spider-Man that's coming into
So are
the
they going to
MCU.
cross-brand this now, or is that just one shot deal? So Sony
No,
can
it is
make
a
them money?
franchise. The reason they wanted to cast a younger Spider-Man was so that he could be in a lot of movies before he got like too old for the role.
I guess so. How old is he now?
In the comics?
No,
No, it's Asa
The actor.
Butterscotch.
I would call him Asa. I don't fucking know.
NASA.
He doesn't like when people call him Asa, apparently.
Misa.
Oh, that's I would understand that.
97. So
I don't blame him. It's not his name.
He's 18, I guess.
Okay.
So.
He's 60s. He's 97.
Can I talk about very briefly Final Fantasy 13?
Yes.
I want to poop
Yeah.
on this game.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no. I'm gonna wait till I can swear. I'll
right.
put a
Yeah,
pin
we'll
in that
save
and
it.
Come back.
What was the other the show? DC show. What was the other one?
Heroes of Tomorrow.
That looks
or
terrible.
Legend of Tomorrow.
That looks terrible.
I think it has potential to be a really goofy, cheesy show, kind of like Star Trek.
Because we
DS9.
need more of those.
I like that
Well, we
ability.
kind of do.
Is one good DC character. His name is Batman.
What do you mean?
And
there's
that
one?
is it.
Green Lantern.
No,
on.
Green Lantern was
Question.
ruined by Ryan Reynolds. Crap.
What Ryan?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Seth
Look,
Rogen.
no one.
First of all,
Back-
there's four.
Hold on. No one sympathizes more than me when it comes to understanding that Ryan Reynolds has ruined a bunch of superheroes, and we'll see how he does with the next one.
Deadpool's gonna be wicked. That's gonna be awesome.
To be fair,
I don't think it's Ryan Reynolds. Is that the issue?
Oh,
He's
and no,
a prime
and
minister.
you're right.
Whoever wrote that film was like.
The issue is totally not with
this
Ryan
is
Reynolds.
about-
He just gets trapped with it. Someone wrote, or in Deadpool's case, did not write him well last time. But okay, so I think Green Lantern is phenomenal. And here's what I think. You weren't here for me last week when I said this, but the Green Lantern and Superman are properly science fiction characters. And the problem with DC is they only know how to make one kind of superhero movie. If they were like Marvel, so diverse in the kind of genre of superhero they made, they would be perfect. Marvel could do justice to Green Lantern and Superman. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, DC, the way it's going, they're great with animated, not so great with live
DC
action.
has a lot of problems just in even in the comics where I don't know what it's like now, but for a while, people like comic writers and artists were jumping ship because it was management at DC was so bad. But
Yeah, exactly.
I can imagine their
The only real when I say real is like character that has any character growth or anything good about him is Batman.
no.
In the live action world, you could make a case for that.
I don't know, like.
But
how
in the
many-
animated world, I think
Look at.
By the way, I didn't know you were going to be here, so I didn't bring the Batman comic.
you
That's
need
fine.
to give Justice League a chance, and I think you need to give Green Lantern
Okay.
a chance.
Listen, just hear me out on this. All
Or like
right.
some sort of like woodland
Look
sprite who
at
shows up every once.
what's been marketable in the past.
Yeah.
In
all
terms
right.
of TV shows and stuff that has surpassed time, right?
Sure.
Have you ever seen a Green Lantern TV show? Just Green Lantern.
Yes,
Yeah, the Green Lantern series.
it was good.
It was called the Green Lantern TV show.
The cartoon,
Green Lantern,
it was a
the
cartoon,
animated
though.
series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Have you ever seen a Green Lantern
Green Antoine.
live action thing?
That was just Green Lantern? No, I haven't, no.
Okay.
Well,
it's
I
just,
mean-
it's just in terms of just look at the Marvel universe.
Sounds like a
Was
bit of
there
sex
has there been a live action Hulk show,
The green ant.
cartoon, characters? Like it's just the marketing side of everything.
Let's back up a bit. The Hulk TV show, live action, may not have been the crowning achievement of TV here.
I'm not saying that it is, okay? I'm not.
It didn't
I
continue
What
to
I'm
suck.
saying
suffering, though.
is
Don't
that
get me
it
wrong.
has still passed the test of time. You know what I mean? Like the Green Lantern movie happened, and it was like pfft,
It was a
crap.
disaster.
But the original, oh my God, what's his name? Raimi. The
Sam Raimi?
Sam Raimi did the Spider-Man films, right?
Yeah.
The first one was not bad. The second one
Yeah,
was not
but
bad.
that's
No, hang
you're
on.
in
taking.
terms of
was
that
kinda
time
bad.
period,
Right.
the 90s Spider-Man series, that was great. The 60s
Again-
Spider-Man series was great.
Well, again,
Batman.
Wait,
Jordan,
no,
you're
I know
pointing
what
out
you're
all
saying.
these-
No,
these
hold
shows
on,
that have horrible
I know what
flaws.
you're saying. DC has, in terms of live action movies, had success with Batman and very few others, whereas Marvel has had success with multiple heroes.
And not
That's
just
undeniable.
movies, everything. Video games.
Well,
you know,
right, yeah, and the video
everything
games,
like
you're
that.
right. The best video
Ultimate
games have been
Alliance,
Batman. There's no
like-
doubt about that either.
exactly. So Batman is that character who's and that's why
Yeah.
I like Gotham. Like I actually will watch anything to do with Batman. That character is
And so will I.
So great. He's the greatest, like, one of the great... Like, if Batman was in the Marvel Universe, DC would just be down the toilet. There's nothing special about Superman. There's nothing special about the Green Lantern for me. Like,
there can be if done right, but
but they're not doing it justice.
You know what? There's no question that the Green Lantern animated series doesn't get enough press, and they should have been pushing that really hard because it is good, and because they don't push everything that they have, which is good.
From my perspective, I'm the base consumer of this stuff.
And you're what's wrong with it, because everybody goes into DC. It's like, why isn't this Batman? Why isn't this Batman? So they make all the superheroes like Batman.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying, why don't they do as much of a justice to the character as they do with Batman?
Okay, fine.
It's about the methodology.
But that's not the fault with the character. Most characters in DC have just as much potential for great stories that any Marvel character has.
I agree. They just don't do them right.
But they don't do justice.
That's what I'm saying. That's the issue.
Yeah. And when they do justice, they don't tell anybody.
Exactly.
How long did... Andrew, you...
terrible marketing.
You like entertainment. You follow things. Did you know the Green Lantern animated series existed?
Nope.
There we go. Yeah. Right?
If I told you
that being said,
I'm
not into animation that much.
Fair enough as well. Yeah.
That is another issue.
That's a good point as well.
You know what I don't care about?
What?
The Flash. I could care less about that show. I will not.
Coffee real quick.
Yeah, like I don't care about what is it, Green Arrow.
Arrow's the show. But Green Arrow.
Yeah. No, he's called the Arrow.
Don't care about.
Is he in the show? Really? But it is Green Arrow, though, right?
Green.
He's the character called Green Arrow. He's based off the character Green Arrow from the comics, but in the show they call him the Arrow because they want him to be Batman. He's not, because Green Arrow is not Batman.
No.
He never
None
was
of them
Batman.
are Batman except Batman.
Although her Green Arrow is actually really good.
I have too, okay? But the way they've marketed it, it's like, I don't really care.
Well, they're either OP or they're useless. That's DC.
I think the marketing for their shows has been wrong, and I think their approach to their characters has been historically one-dimensional.
On the opposite spectrum,
yeah.
Look at the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, there's no denying that. And I prefer DC. Let's clear this up. I prefer DC, and I agree with you on a lot of this.
Do you mean just in TV shows, or do you mean
in general? Not just comic books.
Okay.
Right? Like, I'm talking about, you look at every single aspect from the ground up. They got this huge marketable thing that's on the go right now. Like, it's massive.
The thing I like about Marvel Comics right now, at least I did until they just stopped doing it.
We got a minute, by the way. We got a minute, so...
I've been focusing on comics that focus on individual heroes, lesser known heroes that I wouldn't normally read. So I don't read Spider-Man or Avengers and stuff. I read characters you wouldn't do. And they've all ended recently because of this big Secret Wars event. But that's what Marvel was good at, showcasing their heroes that are lesser known. DC doesn't do that anymore because they're almost afraid to, it seems.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like we were saying last week about when I mentioned that thing about Superman being a science fiction character, a lot of audiences think they wouldn't like to see that, but if they made a good movie, I really believe audiences would flock to it.
That's my mentality.
Absolutely, because audiences don't always know what they want, but when they see something good, they will gravitate towards it. A lot of people would have denied that they would have liked to see an Iron Man movie. A lot of ordinary people who weren't into comic books. But did the people not go? The people went.
Yeah.
We're going to be cluing up the show now and going into the after show, so stay tuned.
Bye.
And we are back with the Pixel Junkies podcast after show.
We are so back.
I want to talk about Final Fantasy 13, which is the game with one of the worst written plots I've ever seen in my life. I played it. I didn't beat it. I played a good way through, as far as I could get before I gave up. And then I watched my cousin beat it. What?
It's very hard.
No, it's not.
You get up to Bartholomew's.
Bartandalus.
Halo is hard, okay?
Halo sucks. More than one headshot for an alien. It's stupid.
I'm agreeing with man. Halo
anyway,
is impossible.
Can't get past the first level because it sucks dick.
So the main guy is this god called Bartandalus, and he's the main bad guy in the whole game. And his plan is he's the leader of all these other gods called the Foul Sea. I'm going to be throwing out these terms, just try and pay attention. Yeah. So the Foul Sea's plan is they want to talk to the god that made them. So their plan is to kill themselves, which will cause the moon that they live on to crash into the earth and kill everybody. And so when everybody dies at once and shows up at the pearly gates, God's going to come and see what all the racket is. And that's how they're going to be able to talk to God. Is that not the stupidest plan you've ever heard of?
A lot of religious belief.
What?
Yeah, like when the apocalypse and the end of days, like that's
What
a very
fucking
similar.
Bible did you read?
What do you mean?
He said religious. He didn't say
Jordan read
Christian.
Apocalypse
Yeah.
2014.
No,
What holy book are you
the
reading?
end of days or whatever. Like I don't know what
That's
the
not
hell
a
it is.
book! Oh, there probably is.
They talk about the second coming of Christ or whatever it is.
Yeah, but Christ isn't coming back so he can talk to God.
No.
He's not killing everybody. He's like, alright, I want my dad to call me and tell me he
But
loves
like,
me.
why is
Everyone's
the
gonna
Earth
die.
gonna end for fucking?
The Earth doesn't end.
Yes, well it doesn't. But
All
like
the saints
everybody,
get sucked up into...
all the good people get brought up to heaven, and all the sinners get fucking left on Earth or whatever it is.
All right,
Yeah.
this got really weird really fast. I'm bringing it back.
Anyway,
You talking
that
about
is
Final
the
Fantasy
premise of
13?
this. Like it's a very similar
Basically,
premise.
No, it's not at all.
everyone gets left behind in the
You're-
cheater
you're-
pool, and everyone else gets...
But here's the thing.
Way to bring ISIS into the conversation, Adam.
God, this guy's plan
Ow!
depends on...
Stop doing that.
Doing what?
Hitting the table.
Jordan,
Ouch!
Jordan,
Ow! That. See, I have these headphones really loud. That hurts.
Jordan brought like 18 drinks to this freaking podcast. They had a bag of freaking Doritos.
So here's this guy's plan.
Finish that rock story?
Because he's a god, and his existence is tied to the life of this moon. So in order for the moon to fall to the earth, he needs to die. But he can't kill himself because of some dumb reason. So he needs to get the heroes to do it. So his entire plan, which he tells the heroes is, I'm going to level you up, make you strong enough to kill me, and then when you kill me, it'll cause the end of the world. And the heroes are like, okay. And they do it. And you get to the end of the game, and you kill them, and then the moon starts to fall towards the planet. And then literally through the power of love and friendship, they stop it. This is the only game I've ever seen where the heroes... if they stopped doing what they were doing, the bad guys wouldn't win. They don't have to do anything. If they literally stopped and killed themselves, the bad guys would lose.
I wish we had known we were going to talk about Final Fantasy 13. I would have gotten Sheldon on the podcast to defend it. He knows that story like literally no one else. You know him too, right?
I do.
He knows that story like no one else, and he would argue with you tooth and nail.
And he'd probably win because honestly, I'm sure I'm missing some stuff because the story isn't conveyed via the story. It's conveyed through like the codex, from Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Is it conveyed through the
Too
codex
lazy to
essentially?
include
Oh
story,
man,
so
that you know
inclusive.
what? That is the best way of telling a story. Not through the game itself, but through all the
Guys, I'm gonna hate to
all
interrupt
the
you on
extra
this.
reading.
Fallout and Oblivion do the exact same thing.
Oh, they totally do not.
Yes,
Do
they
what?
do.
Do what?
You
Hold
gotta
on,
read. You gotta
hold
read
on.
all these books in order to find out all the
No,
previous lore.
No, there's a difference between
No,
there's
no,
a difference
no, no, no,
between
no.
finding
History-
hidden
history
lore.
is ephemeral.
There's a history between finding lore about some random god who doesn't impact the game and stuff you need to know about the game. There's stuff.
The books are a very minimal part of it. The side quests are where you get the most of it. You find out most of the stuff about Daedric Princess from doing their side quests, not from...
If you read nothing that you pick up in that game, you're not going to not understand the ending of it.
In Fallout 3, you know the whole story the second you leave the vault. You look around, you see everything's blown up. It's the post-apocalypse. That's all I need
That's
to know.
fine, actually. I take back Fallout, but Oblivion, Oblivion and Skyrim, like that. The whole lore of it all, like
There's
no.
a lot of hidden lore.
but
no.
You don't need it to be. You don't need it to understand the core concept
why
of
is
the
it
game.
there then?
To flesh it
It's
out.
To flesh it
instead
out.
of-
So it's
flesh
there
it-
to
hold on,
be-
hold on, hold on.
Aaron, isn't
No. Well, actually, it is because Aaron always talks about universes having context and feeling
Yes.
real. Yeah.
It is.
So why wouldn't you complain then that it exists,
No.
but it doesn't exist in story as you need it?
Because it's the
Everything
different-
you need in Skyrim is explained through the game, through conversation.
Because
through
they're
all that.
talking about games where you literally run from A to B and nothing happens story-wise, and you need to pick up a thing to read what just happened because nobody explains
It's
it
the
to you.
difference in Skyrim between finding out about some Daedric prince and some forgotten text and finding out that the name of the dragon you're trying to kill is Alduin. That's what they do. Like, you don't even find out why the gods, why Barthandalus, or whatever his name is trying to crash this moon onto the planet unless you read a data log. Or the wiki.
That's a really bad name.
Barthandalus?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there
It's got a really,
It's very
really terrible
douchey,
design.
judgy.
Is there a genesis for the name? Like,
Probably means like
is there a reason that he's named that? Or
I'm sure he's
that's
named-
not arbitrary.
I'm sure
it
he
is
named
like a
that for some-
religious-based game. Like it's got its own religion to it, essentially.
Yeah, but so is Final Fantasy VI.
So does Fallout.
Final Fantasy VI was a much better example of that. The whole last boss of Final Fantasy VI is a recreation of Hell, Purgatory, and Heaven.
Okay.
It's incredibly symbol.
Okay,
Symbolic.
But thank you.
I'm gonna say this. I do agree.
I
with
studied
you, but
my symbology, Adam. Don't worry about it.
I agree with you. But I don't. The reason I do like that game is because of not because of the story.
By the way, you're not wrong. By the way, I actually agree with you.
Okay.
There is a lot of symbolism and metaphor going on there.
Yeah, and that's what that's what I liked about it.
Worth mentioning.
I like the setting of the game.
Yeah.
The visuals.
I'm not going to say it redeems it. I'm not going to say it redeems the game, but there's definitely a lot going on there.
But okay, in terms of people are like, well, this is not an open world Final Fantasy game.
It's not.
And it's
an
like,
open world Final
how many have there been?
None.
All of them.
No.
Yes.
No. Go back and play Final Fantasy X. You're like, oh, I can fly all over the map. I can do this. I can do that.
Not all of
so
them. I'll
linear.
take that back. But there have been a lot of them that have been open world. Open world for the time of what consoles could be. If you go back and play Final Fantasy VI, that was about as open world as you can get on the Super
Final
Nintendo.
Fantasy VIII was kind of like that too.
Final Fantasy VII was like that. And 8 and 9. 9, after a certain point, you can go anywhere on the planet, really.
The Final Fantasy games are open world in the same way the old Fallout games are.
Yeah.
They're not open world.
Yeah, I feel like open world at this point is a
but they
definition.
were-
I don't feel like open world is like good graphics
you
where
don't
it's
get
suited
to a
to
loading
time.
like
Yeah.
you don't go to a loading screen where you're on a ship now and you can only be in the ship until you hit a
Yeah.
certain point. That's like a map selection. It's
Open
just like
world- Open world is one overall map, barring interiors and everywhere else. That is
Okay.
open to
Okay, I see what you mean.
They were large
But
games
they
with
were
lots of
open. Okay,
environments.
not open world. Then I'll retract that. But the games were open. The games opened up.
Yeah.
They
Whether or not
allowed
they
you to
were
go.
What?
Did it ever force you into one area before another?
At the very beginning, like there was a couple of levels
Right,
where
but
like,
after
after that it basically opens up. I mean, there were some continents that you couldn't go to because you hadn't unlocked that mode of travel yet, or because the monsters were too bad. But you could go basically wherever you want.
And I do feel like open world,
Okay.
even now, is a spectrum for sure.
That's open world.
Okay.
Fallout's the same way.
13 actually
I'll take
becomes
that
open
back.
once you get to the now this
20
is a flaw.
hours in!
Yeah, it is. Don't get me wrong. It is a flaw. You have to get to a certain point in the game before it becomes open world. You know it. I the only reason I'm defending it is because it was the first Final Fantasy for that new console.
If
Right?
it's your introduction to Final Fantasy and you like it for that, I don't have a problem with that. But when you go back and compare it to what it's just lesser than what other games in the series. It wasn't even as good as
makes sense.
12, and 12 was terrible.
I like the combat system in 12. And
It was alright.
Yeah.
If you even begin to defend Final Fantasy 13, I will spend the combat system in Final Fantasy 13. I will spend the rest of this podcast
No, that's
tearing
fucking-
you to shit.
The best thing about 13 was the visuals. I think it looked like
For the time, it looked great.
Yeah,
For the time,
yeah.
on
The
console.
effects were great.
Yeah. Well, I think the art style
I
is-
didn't enjoy the art.
Well, it depends. Like, I feel like we all
I
we've talked
haven't
about
enjoyed the art design of any of them.
we've talked about the Jim Sterling thing before, where he finds it over detailed. I feel like that's bad with protagonists,
I
but
feel
great
like-
with villains. Great with monsters. I love the over detail on the
Yeah.
monsters.
Sometimes I feel like a lot of Japanese developers, and I'm not trying to sound racist here, but they tend to over-design things a lot.
Right, you see it as a pattern.
That's
But
That's
what,
interesting.
what that is for stimulation. Like if you lived in Japan and you walk down like a main central street in like Tokyo or something like that,
Yeah.
you are so overstimulated. You know what I'm trying to say?
Well,
So
I mean,
like what they're doing is they're creating these games that have so much stimuli in it to recreate that so people don't get bored. Like that is a cultural thing. That is a huge cultural thing, and it doesn't translate so well here because we have like basically one paint color per room. You know what I mean? And there's no Mickey Mouse symbol or
I never
Hello
thought of
Kitty.
that before.
Right? But that is the reason why.
I've seen
that
some
is.
shows about
cool to do it.
advertisers from here who were trying to advertise for companies in Japan, and a lot of the criteria that was required to make advertisements and like billboards and posters and all that kind of thing for Japan was like instead of having like very clear cut, clean, like you would see here, like one thing here, and next bit was basically put as much stuff as organized as possible onto a small space.
Yeah.
So it was basically like, as opposed to, here's the key detail, look at that and then branch off to everything else, it was, look at these hundreds of details.
Live in a
small
population of
area.
1 billion people, where there's 1 billion different things going on, and try and simulate a large populace of people.
That's the culture.
And that is what it is. That is what it is. We live in a small
cultural
community,
thing.
so when you walk down the street and you see like a red poster on a sign that says like "Show Tonight," you're gonna be like, "Oh man, like, oh cool!" Like you're gonna look at it, right? Whereas you go down there and there's literally millions of that. Good luck. Good luck. You gotta pick what is the most stimulating, right?
It absolutely is a cultural thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
It
don't.
doesn't translate. It can't translate.
Yeah,
because
it doesn't
it's two
translate
different
for me.
cultural things, right? Like it's.
Speaking of Japanese games developers, we want to talk about Konami.
I absolutely want to talk about Konami.
What's on the go with Konami?
So Konami has come out this week and said, well,
I'm glad.
I guess it's shifting to mobile gaming as its main platform.
Yeah, they basically said that they're done with console gaming.
Well, they seem to have no idea what sells on console games anymore. I think so. An internet commentator
you know what
said
though?
that.
I don't think they ever did.
I don't think they've
You know
ever
what?
had an idea of
Maybe
how
you're
to,
right.
I think
how to
they-
actually
you're
be a company.
Any success that Konami has ever had was purely.
Well, their relationship with the press is miserable, to say the least, I think.
Well, to be fair, most of Konami's most successful game titles have not come from Konami itself, but from their subsidiaries, like who makes Metal. I'm drawing a blank here.
Kojima.
Yeah, like Hideo Kojima, or did Konami make Silent Hill, or was that another company?
No, they made it.
Okay,
was
well,
Konami,
then
yeah.
never mind. Then I'm
Those are
Not gonna
developers, but I think they're directly tied to Konami. They're not like
Yeah, well, it's
it's a closer
it's like Bethesda.
spinning everywhere. It's a closer relationship than say Square Enix has with.
Yeah, well, it's more like
IDOS,
it's more like
right?
Bethesda or Ubisoft, where like Bethesda, you have Bethesda machine games or whatever, but they're all under the ZeniMax banner, right? It's similar in Konami, where they're sort of
They say it's more
I guess
segregated.
they're connected with the developers,
But
right?
I think the developers have a closer relationship to
even more than all the companies under the ZeniMax banner.
possibly, yeah.
Was Konami?
I was under the impression that
that's interesting.
Kojima Productions was like in house.
Oh, okay,
see,
yeah.
That's sort of what I was thinking. Was like, they're not so much like separate developers that are published by Konami. They're freelancers that happen to go to Konami and work on games.
Yeah.
That's sort of what I got.
yeah,
So,
Konami's where they get the backing.
like, I feel like if they're all working in Konami, there's like maybe, I don't know, 5 developers in Konami. It seems odd that like there'd be some clashing. You know, like this person's working on it. You know, I don't know. I don't know the
I don't know.
story.
It just seems to me like the current head, because they did get a new president of the company recently.
Yeah, about time. Except he's an idiot.
Well, except it went horribly.
Yeah.
It just seems like, I guess he's gone to mobile. Like, I can understand the business sense of going to mobile, kind of.
and that is purely the reason why they're doing it, because there's such a huge market now with these mobile games.
There's a
it
market
could
in
be
Japan. They're doing
also-
it because of the market in Japan.
Okay, not
I'm not
only
sure.
that.
There's also it's not necessarily that they're. I'm not sure if it's necessarily the draw of mobile games. That's definitely a possibility.
Yep.
But it could be just running away from the console games because maybe they just have no idea what they're doing and
Well,
they
they
just need
haven't
to get
had
out.
luck lately.
Well, they said they wanted to move from selling things like items to selling things like features. So that's like, you know,
Hey, it's the things I don't like about gaming.
yeah, it's like
Things I don't like about buying a
for only
car.
$2 you can press start, or for only $2 you can actually play.
They
it.
picked a good time to do all this now that Metal Gear Solid 5 is coming out.
It's
They
just,
said they're going to support Metal Gear Solid 5 for years, but it's like they're saying that as the
don't-
ship is sinking,
I don't
everybody's
believe that at
jumping
all.
off of that.
you know what? I
My
just hope.
issue with that.
That game's going to come out. It's going to be the one game this generation that's going to have no patches.
I just hope. Well, you know what? I just hope Metal Gear Solid works from the get-go, like all games should, and we don't need any patches. And they go off and make their cell phone game.
They released a press release of, like, you know, where they're resigning console gaming. You see, like, flames and people screaming
Yeah.
behind them.
As of
Stay calm.
this statement, Metal Gear Solid 5 has become a single-player only game.
Good.
Has it?
No, like it should in everybody's eyes because
Yeah.
it has in mine.
Yeah. Well, that's the way
Because
it
if you
should
think
be.
this thing is going to get support from here on
I
out,
thought you just read something.
it's not.
As long as it works, I'm cool. Make it work, Konami.
It won't. And that's been my issue with those guys for a long time. It seems like
They don't understand anything because they're idiots.
And then they put
Yep.
so much, like Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yep.
They supported that forever and like rode on the tailcoat of that for like 15 years is what it feels like.
And it wasn't
It
broken.
was like one of the first games that came out for PS3, man. Like,
Came out 5 years before the console. Actually, 7 years before the console launched.
you know what I'm
Did
trying
they?
to say, though. Like,
What do you mean
it's
they
just
supported
it's like
it?
they
kind
put
of.
the game out. What's huge from Konami?
Metal Gear.
That's
and
it.
Silent Hill.
That is it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so they just took those two games and they're like, thanks for giving us all this money. Let's never make
Yeah,
another
but
game. And then
they
finally
were
they're like,
good
oh, we ran out
Yeah,
of money.
well, they were not broken.
I'm not saying that they weren't good games. I'm just saying that like they had the potential to make good games,
Which
and they only
they
made
did.
2 of them. 2 series.
Yeah.
They only
And
made 2
also,
series.
let's not give them a free pass on Silent Hill. Let's face it, the remake situation with Silent Hill was not
Atrocious. It was.
was not good.
No.
They handed
They're
off
all
the development of
really
Silent Hill to like Western developers, anyways. They haven't really been involved with Silent Hill for a while.
Yeah, but Silent Hills was being made by
So they had
Kojima
one developer.
Productions.
Guillermo, the IGN interviewed Guillermo.
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo.
Thank you. I can't pronounce his name. And he said he was heartbroken because he never got a chance to make this game, and he said it would have been he says, I don't want to spoil what it would have been like in case I get a chance to like make a game like this in the future. But he said this would have been he said this we were doing a lot of new stuff, especially with the power of the next generation consoles. We were gonna do a lot of new stuff with gameplay that would have introduced horror elements. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
I don't know why someone hasn't been like, oh my god, they're not making Silent Hill anymore?
Yeah.
Let's do something else.
Hire these. I mean, Kojima's
Yeah, like-
not going to be at Konami after Metal Gear comes out.
I mean, like, why,
I mean,
why
he's
can't
pretty much
Rockstar?
done.
You know what?
They're both going to be free after.
I'd be done.
Rockstar
What's
should
Kojima
pick them
going
up.
to do? Make mobile games? Like,
Yeah,
bad
he's-
mobile
he's
games?
not.
Not like
Do you know
mobile
what's gonna
games
come
like
out in
Peace
E3?
Walker.
It's going to be like,
or like the
and
other
introducing
games.
the latest developer for EA games, Hideo Kojima, and everyone's like, no!
Oh, what was that? Oh, Portable Ops. Portable Ops was the.
Okay.
Why doesn't?
But that was that's not the kind of mobile games they're talking about, right? They're not talking about like
No, they're
portable
talking
ops.
about phone games.
Bingo.
Phone apps.
There we go.
Didn't they say
yeah.
they're working on 46 mobile titles over the next year?
46 mobile titles.
Yeah.
Okay,
30
it
of
takes-
which are
They're
Metal
actually-
Gear.
It's
They're
just
actually just one
Square
game,
Enix.
they're
It's the
46
Square
little
Enix
pieces.
business strategy. Just make
I'm
all these
all-
games
From
at
a
once.
financial standpoint, from a mobile game, it takes 5 to 10 people to make a mobile game. A simple mobile runner game, right? You know,
5 to 10.
I don't know, probably. Like, these small divisions, like, in Newfoundland don't
Depends
have
upon
many
the game.
employees. It's not as many people, it's not hundreds of people like it is to make,
No.
like, a full version game, right? Especially if it's, like, a side-scrolling jumping game.
It just the
What?
staff really just determines the turnaround time. It doesn't really
It
determine
re-
what
yeah,
to do.
that-
yeah,
that
okay,
is true.
yes, but...
Mobile gaming is the shittiest aspect of gaming, isn't it? Like, it is the worst cousin of the game.
know.
But
good.
it's also the biggest money making right now. That's
Oh, yeah.
the point I'm trying to make. Like, so, like, if they
Is
can
it,
have,
though?
Yeah, but
Does
the
it
biggest money
clear
maker
more
is
money?
family.
my God,
Absolutely, yeah.
I've
It-
spent
okay,
$800 fucking dollars on the Family Guy fucking tap game. What a waste of fucking money.
Yeah,
Everyone's
no, 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 no.
I was addicted for months.
I'm sorry. I want to dwell on this. Explain this to me. Give me the background on this.
I
Come on.
fucking
The
love playing
explanation
this
is
game.
he's a moron.
You know what though? Guess what?
What?
I picture me as the average consumer.
I basically do.
In general, I am. Right?
Yeah.
For the most part, like, I buy CDs, I
$15 food you
I
buy.
pay for music on iTunes,
Sure.
I'm the average consumer.
Can I just pause you for a second? I'm uncharacteristically mean to Jordan on these podcasts. Also, you're not in frame anymore. So you might want to come back. You drive me home drunk from parties all the time, so, like...
I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, you are. You
Anyway,
really are.
I am the average consumer.
I'm a big fan of when you hit
And
the
you're more
table.
of a dick than me. at the
So-
time, man.
So... I spent $100 on this Family Guy game because I wanted
Oh!
I wanted
are you
a
doing?
special character. I wanted a special character.
That you can do what with?
Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing.
What character did you get?
I
I'm
got
really
like
curious
Gene
about this.
fucking Simmons at Christmas time. And I mean, like, I could have waited 6 months, but then that character would have expired. And I was like, fuck, it's only like $5. So I didn't
I'm
spend
sorry. No, let's rewind. I'm sorry.
$5
Did
for
you get?
drawing
I'm
of
sorry.
Gene
Wait,
Simmons
hold
on
on,
your
hold on,
phone?
hold on. Did you get a character that was Gene Simmons at Christmas time, or did you get a character that was Gene Simmons at Christmas time? Do you understand the distinction?
yes, the
Gene
second
Simmons
one.
Turkey.
During Christmas,
During
you got
Christmas,
Gene
during
Simmons.
Christmas.
I thought
Does
you
he,
meant
like-
you got like
Does
Gene
he, like,
Simmons.
read
He's wearing
you?
a Santa
Read-
outfit or
read you to
something.
sleep or something?
It's
or
so fucking... Don't...
What does
Don't...
he do?
No, hold on a second. It doesn't matter what he did or what he does. It doesn't matter. Picture me as the average consumer, playing a game that I like playing, thinking like, I don't really spend that much money on video games, so I mean like, what's $5 here and there? So if I do that 20 fucking times, it's $100.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I did it with the one game or with, but that's where mobile gaming gets everybody's money.
Yeah,
so you
I
see
know.
Game of War, it's a free to play game. That's
That's the one
awesome,
with
right?
Kate Upton
Have I
on the
not
commercial.
seen it?
Exactly,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's all
Which is on all the commercials, I think, for that game.
Guess
Nonetheless.
what? Yes, you hate it, but guess who doesn't hate it? The average fucking consumer. She's gorgeous. She is fucking gorgeous.
Not when she's
And
running on a horse.
I don't give a fuck.
No.
Sports Illustrated.
Fuck her and that game.
Yeah. Anyway, the average consumer
Do not say the average consumer
The
one
average-
more time.
consumer.
The American consumer, yes, they like nickel and diming things.
It's
oh,
not
yeah,
cute.
It's
That's the point. You've been trying to make this point for like 8
people keep
minutes.
fucking interrupting me.
Rory, the average
Jesus.
consumer.
I'm gonna pass out.
What's
Heavy-
after that?
People have incorporated this small amount of money into their budget. That is why it is a money-making thing. There's not that many people out there who are definitely going to buy every console, definitely going to spend all the money to buy all these games, definitely going to spend the money for the accessories for it, like Kinect or whatever the case may be, whatever it is. So that's why mobile gaming is becoming so huge.
Yes,
Sure,
because people are horrible with money.
You're preaching to the fucking Pope here at this point.
I understand, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you get 46 new fucking small mobile games on the go, and 100,000 people download each game and pay $20 each, that's a lot of fucking money
That
coming
is,
in
that's a good
for
point.
smaller
That's a good
development teams. You know what I mean? So it's
point. Yeah, now you say it, it does make a lot of sense.
yeah.
No,
I
you
just
know what
couldn't
else-
get the fucking words out.
You know what else makes a lot of money and is generally
Yeah, I didn't do it, man.
Coors Light. Seriously,
Speaking of
but
beer,
it
Miller Lite is better.
appeals to the average consumer.
Did you just mute his mic?
No.
That is the point I was trying to fucking make.
People don't have money for AAA titles anymore because they're poor as fuck.
Yes.
So they don't want to spend $1 on a mobile game.
And it doesn't look like it adds up.
I know, and exactly. And then they end up spending hundreds of dollars
Yep.
that they could have spent on a AAA game that they said they couldn't afford.
Exactly. Yep.
We know that people don't. Yeah, people don't handle money properly. Like we talk about when people, like I think I mentioned this last week. It blows my mind. People skip work to go to the Black Friday sale. You'd make more money in 8 hours work than you're going to save at the Black
No,
Friday
I
sale.
have people
Or
tell
to
me
be
that all
fair,
the
you
time.
could, like, you as yourself now could skip work.
Me and my job
Yeah.
could skip work and go to the Black Friday
And
sale.
not actually get in
That's
trouble.
true.
People tell me all the time, Dave in particular, how do you have so much money all the time? It's because I don't spend every cent I have at every fucking waking moment. Like, I'll spend $1 on this, $1 on that, $1 on that. Oh, that's only a few bucks, doesn't matter. It's like, well, that could have been $10, you know?
Yep.
Why don't you save it and buy something you want instead of something that was like, oh, if you don't buy this in 6 months, it's gone forever. That just seems stupid to me.
That's why I don't think I'm going to get Witcher 3 until I play it on one of your houses to see if I like the combat. Because I'm sure Witcher 3 is going to be amazing game. I'm not going to say that, but I'm saying I might not enjoy the combat enough to invest $70 into it.
Combat's better than it was in the first one. At least I'm assuming it will because it was better in the second
I
one.
just want to try because it might be a combat system that I personally just don't gel with. So
Did you like the second one? You couldn't get into it.
Yeah,
I didn't get into it because
the
of
same
that.
with me. I feel the same way. It's not. There's too much going on in video games right
I
now.
love the combat in the first one.
Really?
I like it in the first one too.
Yeah,
I like it a lot more in the second one.
I don't know. It's that and the Assassin's Creed stuff that I just hate. It's just like
Well, okay, the
time
Assassin's
your
Creed
button
stuff bothers
clicks.
me.
Just
Yeah,
keep pressing
I
the
don't
button
get it.
to the timing. Is like that.
Just all you had to do was press the button when your attack hits. That's all you had to do
Yeah,
in
but
any combat system ever.
Wait, you just hear like, and then you click, and then click.
I don't like the menu system in the first game, but I like the
I
combat
just wanna
system.
match
Oh,
the
in the
button.
first one,
Yeah, you gotta wait for the thing to charge.
you
and
got to
then
look
click.
at the icon.
Yeah, but you gotta basically time your button clicks.
Not really, because the
Yeah, you
timing
do.
changes every time you upgrade your attacks.
Oh,
Like you'll add more attacks
but
to
it's
your.
still learning the timing though.
You don't have to time it.
Yes,
you
you
look
do.
at your icon when you hit your icon.
That's timing.
when
You're
you're
just timing it.
That is, it's like the button coming over in Guitar Hero
It's like
when
pop click.
you got to
pop,
time
click.
that to hit the
okay.
green button.
It's
and-
timing in that sense, but you're not counting down.
I have
No,
it in
you
my
don't.
head.
No,
Because
it's still
I'm
time.
developing a pattern in my head that I need to click it every like so many seconds,
Yeah, well,
and then eventually it just becomes click like.
Eventually,
So
that turns
happen.
into.
That's why I don't like
Street
the first
Fighter.
one. As
y'all are just bad, and you should all feel bad about
I
yourselves.
want to mash the buttons. I just want to go. And be
We're
done with it.
gonna close up the show now, I
No,
think.
not yet. 2 minutes.
Okay.
16 minutes. Hold on. Have you guys heard about the F&R auto sales fiasco? I'm not sure how old this is. I only heard about it today. I thought it was very funny. All right. So this
What is it?
F&R auto
Fuck your
sale.
ride.
Hold on.
F and R.
Fucking and riding.
F&R. It's an auto. It's the auto
Yeah, fine.
shop,
Like a
place,
car?
dealership
Okay.
in Massachusetts. So they order pizza or something. It comes to about $42, $43, and it gets delivered. And they hand the delivery guy 2 20s and 2 5s.
How much did it cost? Sorry, reiterate.
$42, $43 around.
Okay.
there.
So they
Yeah.
hand him $50.
Handed him $50, 2 20s, 2 5s. They didn't ask for any change back. So the dude takes all the money and goes. They call his boss and tell him he just stole all our money. So he just stole his, the money, not all of it. So they forced the delivery guy to come back to the store and give the money back. Yeah, and then after he leaves, I think they call the manager again to try to get him fired.
Wait, so they gave him.
It's $43.
How
So
does,
they give him 2 20s, which is 40, a 5, and another 5.
I'm
So that's a whole $5 bill that they would hand to him, and if he wasn't supposed to get the tip, he would hand it back. But they didn't ask for any money back.
But how do we know they didn't ask? How do we know any of this happened? What's going on?
Well, I got half of it's on video here.
Oh, okay. What? Why? Like, why is this? Why were they videotaping them
It's
buying
a
pizza
security camera.
at the auto? Do we have
At-
audio?
Yeah, I'm not going to play it now.
Oh, so we do have audio, and we know they didn't ask for change.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, the dude comes back and argues with him because, I wouldn't have taken the money if you guys
Right.
asked for your money back. Right?
If
you
it's $43 and you hand him $50 and
Yeah.
one of them is a spare 5, that means you should have just handed him $45.
right.
Yeah.
That's a good
That's
point.
what I'm saying.
But people,
I would
are-
assume.
people are dumb.
Yeah, they're very dumb. They're very fucking dumb, and that drives me insane.
Yeah, but wouldn't you
But
presume it's a tip?
you would assume that was a fucking tip.
Or-
As any normal human
If you
being,
didn't ask for
unless
change.
that person cannot fucking count.
If you hand
I'd be
someone
like,
too much money, you're supposed to specify,
They're
I want
very
this much
emotionally
back
invested
or
in
nothing.
this.
And
Yes,
it's then assumed to be a
This is
tip.
fucking people. This is auto sales for you.
Jordan,
in a
wait.
fucking nutshell.
This is
Hold on for
auto.
a second.
I don't know. I'm not willing to condemn the whole field of auto sales
It's up there,
based
man.
on a thing that might be true from a security camera. This is very flimsy.
sales in general. Fuck sales. Fuck.
Now you're condemning more people.
Fuck's sake! Were these people trying to get this guy fired for like a joke, or did they not realize they handed him extra money?
This is what I'm wondering because people don't always realize what they're doing.
No,
Yeah.
in the audio, the manager says, well, I just handed you all the money that they handed me. Because I guess the manager was paying for it, and somebody handed him $50 to pay for the pizza. Right?
So it's
Okay,
fucking-
we're gonna need to look more into
That
this.
was the manager's argument.
Can we just ignore
I'm-
that for a minute
Yeah.
and just say it's $5? If the guy just took it and was like, okay, it's a tip, and you were like, no, he wasn't supposed to take that, and the guy brings it back and just say, sorry about that,
Oh yeah, it was mishandled one way or the
But
other.
there's
Guaranteed.
absolute malice in these guys because after the delivery guy leaves the second time, it's like,
Yeah.
he's done. The money's back.
They call again. Okay, that's a real
No,
problem.
one of the guys is like, Carlos manager, get this piece of shit fired.
Okay, that's a
And
problem.
the lady
Yeah.
is like, you leave before I put my foot up your ass. And stuff like that.
I would
They're complete
fucking
bullets.
jump them. I'd get on fucking top of them. My backs are fucking
I'm
skeleton, man.
really glad you feel this way.
Oh my
because
God.
the internet got a hold of this,
Yeah.
and they're fucking tearing the place apart.
Good.
At one point,
That place is going out
At
of
one
business.
point, if you Google search for F&R auto sales, it would come up with faggots and retard auto sales.
Jesus.
The Yelp reviews. Let me,
1 star out of
it's got 1-star
2,800
reviews.
Also, can I ask a question here? So this is a security camera from FNR Auto Sales.
Yeah.
Why did they release this footage?
They thought they were being awesome.
Oh,
All right.
people are dumb.
Watch this. You own a business. It's a fairly profitable business. Why
Yes.
not? It's auto sales. You know, you're making a lot of money.
Oh, I own an auto sales business.
Yes, okay.
Oh, okay.
Everything you have is 2,000% markup anyways, all right?
All right,
So now
rock
you're going to
on.
argue over $7,
You
right?
betcha. Yeah.
And put it on the internet. Guess what happens when your business goes down the drain? You're going to go to the news, you're going to be like, I can't believe it. This is the worst thing, this is an atrocity. And you're going to fucking complain to every media and news outlet, your business is gone. You just fucked over your business for $7 fucking.
Yeah, no,
Except
Hands up,
Jordan.
those guys are fucking assholes.
Jordan, this day and age, bad publicity is probably the best you can get because everybody hates shitty things or loves shitty things. Loves to hate shitty things.
They love this.
That's the
pizza guy.
hipster mentality, isn't it?
Yeah, they're like, oh, let's go to this shitty car place because they're terrible. That's what people will do. Anyway.
Can I get a HDMI cable here?
There's a GoFundMe page
To
for the dude, for the delivery guy.
It was
I
like
think
originally $7.
I think it's
or
over
something.
$30,000 now
Why are they giving him $30,000?
because he didn't get a tip after.
It's a $30,000 tip.
I keep getting things from GoFundMe that are just like a child needs to raise this amount of money to get open heart surgery.
To
Needs a
live.
heart- and this guy's getting $30,000.
Okay.
The human race is
Okay.
so shitty.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. We're going way over time, but I'm gonna give you an example. Maybe hopefully to close this off, right?
That camera's gonna
So
die.
those
Plug
GoFundmes,
in.
those GoFundmes.
Oh, so this-
There's a guy. He was saying like he asked his buddy. He's like, "Did you buy house insurance?" And the guy says, "No. Why would I ever buy house insurance?" And the guy's like,
Because it's on file.
he's like, "No, like you should have house insurance because you know if anything ever happened to your house, like you want to make sure that you can recoup some of the costs at least and get your values back and get a new house." And he says, "Why would I do that? All I do is put on a smug face and put up a fucking Kickstarter program." And I was like, "That is the new way of the world." Oh, it's so sad. I lost my house. Can you give me money? Here's $1 million fucking dollars. Sick. And that's the way of the world now. So
the end.
that's it.
I'm very warm.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
Get
it's really
get
warm
the
in here.
fucking owner and manager on the phone. I want this motherfucker's job. I want him fired.
The for those who don't know,
love
in this
you, Internet.
studio, for some reason when the
No, that
summer
was the
hits,
guy talking
the AC
about
just
the-
breaks, and it's always really warm in here. So yeah, guys, get ready for July.
We'll be talking about Mad Max next week. Since John's
Yes,
done.
we will.
I haven't watched it.
Mad
And The Witcher.
Maxine Law.
What?
What?
Mad Maxine Law.